One of the things that's really important is what people tell themselves. So let's say in a family, you have a reoccurring cycle that happens again and again. And let's say the new generation comes in, they're like, well, around this time, such and such went through this, or they had this experience, or this happened. And instead of acknowledging what the problem is to learn the lesson, it's almost like they're just expecting it to happen. But these words that people say are very important. It's like spell work. So when you are specifying a certain thing that's supposed to happen in a cycle and you know it's coming up, instead, how about the general collective together learn what the lesson is from that experience from the previous generation, find a solution so that that doesn't happen, like kind of a preemptive precautionary measure that you would do instead of having the same cycle go again and again and again. Sometimes people keep things hush hush, or they keep it quiet depending on how like extreme the trauma is, or if it's not a trauma, just like an experience in general. Sometimes it's positive, right? And that's fine. But when you speak of yourself, you want to speak highly of yourself, highly of your family, highly of others. And if you can't do that, you're just recreating the same cycle again and again. And I don't think there are some individuals out there that are getting that point across. And I'm hoping that the new generations catch on to this quick so that they change the cycle, so that that isn't recreated for themselves, so that they can do something actively or even verbally, start speaking more highly of themselves, and not in an egotistical way, just more like if they're going to be coming up to a certain point in life where, let's say, something happened to their great grandma or something like that, and it happened to the grandma and the mom, and now it comes down to the daughter. Well, the daughter's like, you know what, I'm not okay with that. I'm going to actually do what I can to make sure that that doesn't happen, so that I don't have to go through that. And I'm going to sit and maybe go over whatever information I have based on what's given to me, and maybe even do some research on it so that this sort of thing doesn't happen again. And same for that person's children, and so on and so forth, so that we stop recreating the same negative cycles, learn from the lessons, and transmute that negative energy into positive energy. It would be really beneficial for everybody if we started doing that too. Mind you, everybody has their own way of doing things, and they also, make their own choices with free will, and I understand that too. So it all comes down to the person, the next generation, or whoever's stepping up next in line. And spiritually speaking, the rankings as well, what kind of gifts they're given, and whether or not they were nurtured. Being able to step outside of maybe just a group think from a family dynamic or a group dynamic or a cult or whatever you want to call it, and find like-minded people and try to build upon that and find the solution that they can. I think it's really important. And words are very powerful. Even the words I speak here on YouTube, if you can agree, I've done my best to make sure that I stay, for the most part, neutral and not judging harshly on other people without fully understanding, at least. And sometimes I have to reiterate stuff. Sometimes I have to go back when I've seen a video and there's more, and add to it that I've learned, just like anything else, and do my best to make sure the information gets out as properly as possible. So if you agree with this, like, share, subscribe. Thank you to all my subscribers so far, especially the ones that have been with me since day one. I really, truly appreciate everything. All the love, the support, any donations and anything like that. Thank you. Remember to love you. Please do.